Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of SoTellUs Time. We hope you guys had a great weekend and a very productive Monday. We are so glad to be with you guys here on Tuesday morning. It's going to be an awesome time today because we are talking about stay in your lane. Stay in your lane. I feel like people are not staying in their lanes these days. It's driving me bananas. In fact, Troy and I just, if you guys follow us on Instagram and Facebook, you probably just saw that we did a big old long trip visiting some clients of ours and some affiliates. Drove through 10 states, took my RV, drove through 10 states, and it was a good time. We had a lot of fun. But on the way back, we were just about home. It was full of adventure. We'll have to tell you guys about it sometimes. Explosions happening. It was like a action hero movie, right, Troy?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, it involved fast and furious cars.
Yep.
Not our RV. The RV was slow and like maybe if you ever seen that movie called RV, and their family has all sorts of problems. It was fun. We had a great time. But as we're driving back, we're almost home. And we're cruising down the highway in the right lane, of course. That slow traffic is in the right. So we're over in the right lane. We're just cruising along in the RV, having a good time. And there's quite a bit of traffic coming into town. So on the left, there's lots of people passing us. And this guy with a trailer gets in the left lane, and he's slowly passing us, but passing us. And there's a few cars behind him. And so I'm kind of watching that side, making sure that I'm keeping track of where I'm at in the lanes and where they're at and everything going on. And I look over and check that mirror, my driver's side mirror, and I just happen to look over to check my passenger side mirror. Now remember, we're on the right side, we're in the right lane. So there's the medium on the other side of us, which is not a medium. We were coming in through the desert, so it was...
Yeah, it's like maybe 5 feet of concrete and then rock sloping off into the desert.
And right as I glance over, this guy in a Mustang comes flying by on the right-hand side. I was so mad. Mad. Troy was hearing things he's never heard before. Well, that's not true. He's heard stuff like that before. But he was hearing things. Trust me. He knew I was mad. Oh my gosh, I wish I would have saw that fool. I could have swerved at him, ran him off into the desert. I hope he crashes and burns. You know, because he flies by on the right-hand side. He was kicking up glass all over the RV. He was picking up rocks and throwing them up all over the RV. I mean, it was terrible. There was rubber on the road on the side. It flew up and hit the RV. And so I was like so mad because I was like, oh, my window's going to crack. I'm going to have dents all over the RV. Funny thing is that the only damage that happened is a little teeny tiny rock jumped up, hit the RV, bounced off of it, and hit the passenger side little circle mirror that is like it's
a blind spot mirror, that little teeny mirror that you like just stick onto your big mirror.
Yeah, and it cracked that. That was the only damage that happened, but it just, and I was like, oh, what a jerk. So anyways, I was super ticked. And the guy was driving so reckless. And in fact, it was so dangerous because we came around a curve right after that, not even 15 seconds later.
Yeah.
And on the right-hand side of the road, pulled off on the side of the road, was 2 RVs.
Yeah.
And like an SUV or something like that. And if we would have been coming around that curve and that guy would have whipped around on the right-hand side, he would have smashed into the back of those vehicles because it was right around a curve.
Yeah.
There was no way he would have been able to stop or get out of the way. And he would have probably killed himself, probably killed a few of those people. It was like, man, stay in your lane. Slow down. Troy was laughing. He's like, you're like an 85-year-old man driving this RV. He's like, if you're watching our YouTube channel right now, I've got my Yeti mug that has my handle on it. See my handle, Troy?
It's very nice. Our grandpa had one just like it.
Yes, our grandpa Howard, he used to cruise all over the country, and he had a mug with his handle. And I was sitting there driving along, and I'm like, people would be speeding by us, and I'd be like, slow down. It's about the journey, not the destination. What is wrong with these people? And I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, we were pulled over and like these other RV people were like waving at us and they were like 85 years old. And we're like, yeah, we're part of the RV gang now. And then Trevor gets out and he's like filling up the gas and he's talking to this guy who looks like he's 105. And he's asking him questions, about his RV. And he's like, yeah, so, how fast do you drive that thing down the road? And the guy's like, I go go 2,500. And Trevor's like, 2,500? What is that? And he's like, RPM, 2,500. I just keep it at 2,500, and whatever speed that gets me, that's what that gets me.
Yeah.
He's like, because that gets me the best gas mileage.
He says, I don't pay attention to speed. He goes, you'll learn, you young whippersnapper. You don't pay attention to speed. You get in the right lane and you go 2,000 RPM. You go to maybe 2,500 climbing up those hills, but that's how you get good gas mileage. This big old bad boy, this boat, she'll get 10 miles a gallon when I do that. And I thought, oh, hey, and the funny thing was, I wasn't laughing. I was like, oh, good advice. Good advice. The rest of our trip, we went 2,000 RPMs.
We did. Yeah, it's really sad.
So okay, guys, back on to what's going on today. So stay in your lane. Well, why are we talking about this guy that whipped past us on the right-hand side, throwing rocks up all over my new RV and making the end of our trip even more adventurous than it had already been? Well, guess what happened shortly after that? We all hit a stoplight. We all came to a stoplight. And guess where that jackwagon was? Right next to me at the friggin' stoplight, you jackwagon. You endangered your life, my life, Troy's life, and everybody else's life being reckless for no reason. We got to the same destination at the same time. So not only did he endanger everybody, he also was wasting fuel, right? He was flooring it and driving like a maniac and wasting fuel. So how do we equate this to our businesses? Well, first off, he was driving like a maniac, right? So all the time we've got clients that are jumping from this to that to this to that. Let me do this, let me do that, let me do this. And they're jumping all over the place and they're not focusing in on one thing in their business for success. And I mean, that could also equate to wasting money. So the fuel, right? So he was wasting fuel. In your business, are you wasting money jumping around and driving like a maniac, trying all these different things and never actually giving anything a chance to really, truly work, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And then let's look at the destination, right? Did he get there faster?
No, he did not.
He did not.
He just had to sit with a bunch of pissed off people looking at it.
Yeah, he's lucky that somebody didn't get out and start shooting at him or something. I mean, this day and age.
It is Arizona.
It is Arizona. We're cowboys here. Let me tell you, our women are tougher than most men outside of this state, okay? We got the tough ladies, the cow ladies. So he got to the destination at the same time that we got to the destination, right?
Yeah.
But we were safe. We weren't burning through fuel. And in your business, you need to look at your business from this perspective of, are you burning fuel? Are you being reckless with your business? Are you putting your business at risk? So let's jump into it, Troy. Stay in your lane. What do you think?
Yeah, first one, stay in your lane. Basically, what that means is look at what is working in your business and then figure out how to perfect it. And that's really important because like Trevor said, a lot of times you bounce, you go, oh, if I do this, and maybe if I go over and work on this, and then I do this, and you try to become like a master of all, and you end up being the master of none. Yeah, right.
Sure.
Because you never perfect anything in your business. You're just bouncing, around and trying to put out fires. I like to call it the fireman thing, right? Yeah. You're a fireman. You're just running around and you're just putting out fires and addressing issues, but you're not actually perfecting your business.
Right.
And so staying in your lane is taking something and working on it until you perfected it.
Exactly. Otherwise, you're the fireman. You're just spraying your hose on everything. You're
Exactly. And that's not going to grow your business.
No.
The next one is, again, don't waste time and resources. And Trevor talked about that. This guy he was probably doing 100 miles an hour.
It was crazy.
In this Mustang. So he's probably getting 2 miles to the gallon.
We were only doing 15 miles an hour. So he could have been going like 45. I don't know. But it seemed like 100 miles an hour. I was screaming at him like he was.
No, we were just going 2,000.
2,000 RPMs. I don't know what
whatever that was. So, but, again, don't bounce around from one idea or one software to another software or one marketing strategy to another marketing strategy without actually testing it and seeing what the results are, because you're just wasting your resources. You're wasting your fuel in your business, right? Your money and your time, because that's part of your fuel, right?
Yeah.
Because you only have so much time. So that's a finite resource that you can invest into different parts of your business.
Absolutely.
And the next thing is, know the difference between a calculated risk and endangering yourselves and others, right? So he obviously, this guy just didn't care, and he was endangering everybody.
Yeah.
Right. But sometimes as business owners, we think like, oh, I've got to do this and I've got to do it now. And we kind of ignore what the risk is. And we're like, it's worth it no matter what the risk is. But there's a big difference between calculated, meaning I know there's a risk involved here, but I've calculated what that risk is, and I'm willing to take the risk because of the potential gain versus the potential loss. Right? Because you got to remember, your company, your family, your employees, all of them are relying on you as the business owner to make wise decisions. So you need to be thinking about that when you're calculating risks and making decisions.
Absolutely.
And then the other one I want to talk about is there are no shortcuts to success. That guy ended up at the exact same light that we ended up. He thought he was taking a shortcut by going around us, right? But we ended up in the same spot. So, there are definitely certain things that you can do to accelerate the growth in your business, to get there faster, and we do want to get there faster as far as growing our business.
But think about risk versus reward, okay?
Right.
What was he risking? He was risking his life, and what was the reward? He he landed at the same spot at the same time as everybody else.
Yeah.
Freaking moron. So don't be that. Don't be the moron. Don't risk everything to still end up at the exact same spot you would have.
Yeah. And don't just look for a shortcut. Don't look for that one thing that, we've known business owners that do this. They're always looking for that one thing, that one deal, that one whatever that's going to blow their business up. And in the meantime, they are so busy chasing that one deal or that one thing that they don't actually work on growing their business.
Yeah.
And then they wonder when they don't land that whale, like a lot of times they call it hunting whales, right?
Yeah.
They don't land that whale and they go out of business. They're like, man, I don't understand what happened. Well, you didn't actually work on your business. You didn't grow your business.
Have you ever seen the movie Moby Dick or read the book? Let her, she blows.
Right.
Yeah. Does he ever get it?
I think it kills him in the end. So risk versus reward, right?
That's right.
So anyway, again, don't look for the shortcuts. Do the work. No matter what, the work has to be done, no matter how fast you're going, right?
Yeah.
So, all right, homework. What's the homework for this week, Trevor?
Homework. Pick one thing you do well in your company and figure out how to improve it. So instead of looking at what's the next thing, what am I going to do next? It's no, what's something that I'm doing right now really well, and how can I improve that? Remember, it's incremental movements make big differences, right?
Yeah.
Big changes. Little small tweaks can make all the difference in the world. In fact, I just made some tweaks with our marketing for SoTellUs, and it was funny. Both my sales guys and my support guys, my success coaches today, both said to me, holy crap, whatever you're doing, don't stop doing it. They said, stop doing it, because all of them are so busy.
Yeah.
My sales guys are swamped with, their schedules are full today. And I think one of my coaches, one of my success coaches told me today he had 30 calls halfway through the day already. He'd already completed 30 calls for the day. And these are, that's incredible. So little tiny changes. I made a little tiny change in our marketing and it made a big result, and these guys are feeling it.
Yeah.
So it doesn't have to be huge, big changes all the time, right?
That's it.
Okay. All right, guys. Well, thank you for spending another Tuesday morning with SoTellUs Time. We love you. We appreciate you. We have so much fun with you. Hope you guys are laughing on the other end of this radio. We're laughing over here, obviously. We laugh all the time. And please, as always, share, comment, and we will see you guys on the next episode of SoTellUs Time.